Hey guys, Victor Pena here, founder and CEO of OmniPrint International, for another session of Creators One-on-One. Today, I'm proud to have Neil from CB Shelton, flew in from Georgia to be here. Today, we're gonna drop some fire all about winning mindset, being a creator and making some money, and actually talking about real estate also. So stay tuned, we're starting right now. Today, I'm excited to have Neil here, or you want me to call you Cornelius.
Hey.
This is a great story of mindset, guys. Neil traveled here from Atlanta to be in the studio to get the HQ tour. So welcome again, Neil. Thank you for being here, my man.
It is a pleasure.
I want to start a little bit with maybe sharing with the community, like who you are, what you're doing, how can people get a hold of you, and a little bit about your story.
Yeah, so my name is Cornelius Shelton. I'm the owner of CB Shelton Enterprises. We are a promotional products company and custom apparel company as well. The list runs long. I mean, we have graphic design, product development. I mean, you name it. So we pride ourselves on advertising and marketing and helping individuals and company to get the best quality promotional items that they can get on the market.
That's awesome. So you're like a one-stop shop. Somebody wants to create custom prints, or they want to have anything to promote their business. You help them with that.
That is correct. I'm originally from Southwest Georgia, small town, Camilla, Georgia. But I had a cousin years ago. I'm talking maybe like early 2000s. He was into like making custom apparel, so I would see it, but I didn't quite like understand it. But that was the only thing that I knew about, like clothing and custom apparel. But he was importing from overseas.
Yeah.
So fast forward 2015, a couple buddies and myself, like we thought about creating a clothing line. All right. So when the idea came about, like I jumped right in. I went out, I bought the computer. I got the Adobe package. I kind of just like, dove in. And at that time, only thing I knew about was like custom cut and sew, because my cousin, right? So that was my first niche, find a factory and try to produce clothes. Well, that didn't go too well. We didn't do our homework, man. We didn't look into patterns, man. The hoodies, they came back, the sleeves were too short. It was bad. So at that point, we're probably around like 2016. I said 2016 now. And now I'm thinking I need more control. And so that's when, you start getting into more of like the heat pressing, screen printing apparel, working with like local decorators and that. So over the years, I just continued to do that. What really took it off was when one of my friends asked me to produce some polos for his company. Now, as a startup brand, you may sell one or two pieces, but this was like the first time when I saw somebody that needed a couple hundred like polos.
Yeah.
And it clicked. Wait, I can make money producing stuff for companies.
Yeah.
And so after that, like, I started to eye that side of the business, but I just stuck with it, man. And my wife, I gotta give her kudos, because I was big on like helping other people, and she was like, no, you need to focus in on yourself and do something for yourself. So in November of 2017, went out, got the LLC for CB Shelton Enterprises, and we've been rolling full speed from there.
Man, I love that. And this is a story of resilience, right? Because a lot of people will give up after they get slapped in the face and fail the first time.
For sure.
So when you're starting, you might have an idea to start in a certain spot, like cut and sew, right?
Right.
But you have to pivot and do something new until you figure out, all right, which customer base do I want to sell to? Do I like it? Am I good at it? Can I do this long term?
For sure.
So what helped you not fail through that?
Like you said, just mindset. Having a sports background and my hometown, Camilla, like we prided ourselves on, or still to this day, like winning championships. And so we, you work really, really hard, and I just took that same kind of mindset and then just brought it over into life.
Yeah.
So throughout that time, I was still working, corporate jobs and just doing the print stuff on the side. But I just, always just had a vision of being here. So the jobs, they were great, and I wanted to rise up to be like a CEO, but inside of someone else's company. But it's harder to become a CEO of somebody else's company than it is to be of your own. So that just keeps me going, and then just family. Like family is my biggest why. I got people back home that have never been able to even get on an airplane to come here. So everything that I do, I always do that with them in mind, to be able to give them the same experience that I have for myself. And
man, that's awesome.
Send it back.
You wanna inspire people to like fail forward, right? Fail through it. Look at what could be done differently, right? So that's super powerful. A lot of people give up, right? They give up at the first sign of something's hard. And let me tell you guys that whatever you do doesn't matter. If we want to be great at something, you're gonna fail.
Yeah.
You're gonna fail a whole bunch of times.
Yeah.
So one thing I want to touch on, Neil, and I think it could be valuable for the audience, right?
Okay.
So a lot of people think, hey, when I start something, the first thing they try to gravitate towards is cut and sew, right? Because of this idea that you can create product, right?
Right.
My advice there would be is make sure if you're going to do that, you need to have the right time investment, money investment, and that attention to detail to push it through.
For sure.
It's probably one of the hardest ways to start, versus picking out some great production blanks and start making something or
Right.
make something for others. So I want you to think about it. Do not start a clothing line with cut and sew if you're not ready to push through and have the investment to do it. You're better off partnering with a brand that has established blanks. There's great blanks out there now.
For sure.
And then start doing maybe your own tag, your own designs, and all that stuff, because that's how you can be successful with a lower investment. And then once you have volume, and once you have the idea of what goes into it, like you're saying, patterns and the right material, where you get it from, who's gonna sew it nicely, who's gonna do a quality job, are you gonna get that premium feel that you have to upsell somebody to, right?
Right.
If you can't stick through that, then start off a little easier, because I'd rather have you guys have a win with something easier than have a loss with something massive, because it's like, we all want to shoot for the fences, right?
Correct.
But you have to know exactly what you're getting yourself into. And now there's a lot of research, there's a lot of YouTube University,
Right.
So that's one thing I wanted to unpack for you.
Yeah.
And let people know and give that value out,
For sure.
One thing that impressed me about you, I post a lot on Instagram, and Neil responds. Sometimes if he has a question, he'll be like, hey, how about this? How about that? And I respond, right? He flew from Atlanta. He put himself in this room. He put himself in this studio. How? By asking, all right? Asking good questions. So whenever I see that kind of mindset, I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to help this person win. We have thousands of customers out there with different mentalities, right? So I want to talk about like a winning mindset real quick.
Okay.
Because what makes you have the questions? What makes you think, or you know what, I'm gonna ask, or I'm gonna push through. I have a big vision for the future. Like what gets you there?
Just going back. I mean, it starts with family, right? That's huge for me. And then outside of that, like, it's the personal ambition of my own to, like I said, be here. And then, dude, I don't know, like it must be like heaven sent, because like what I saw, and especially once things started to get to rolling, you'll get here a whole lot faster by helping others, right? Yeah. So I mean, there is some personal aspects in that too, as far as like what I want for myself and what I want for my family. But
so you have a big vision.
Yeah, because like to see how it impacts the lives of others. Yeah. As we were talking earlier in your office, I've worked several jobs, and I mean these because I have my bachelor's degree. I'm a business management student. And
Awesome.
thank you. We talked about like how in the construction jobs you worked back in the day, like how those jobs was hard. One of my hardest jobs to this day was I worked in Walgreens. Dude, that's a hard job, man. Like you see those tags, people don't think about all those tags, but that was a hard job.
Yeah.
Or my sales jobs when like I was literally sitting in the homes with families sometimes 2 hours minimum to 8 hours, you know, and you're helping them, you know, remodel their homes. Like those were hard jobs, but through it all, I learned the truth of like providing value. And it was never like salesy or any of that stuff. So I can do what I do well because I know that like I'm not selling to anybody.
Yeah.
Even my largest customers, like I'll ask them like, did you feel like that was a sales moment? And it was like, no. But I'm like, do you want to know how much money we just made? You know, but through even outside of the money, like we were able to help them. And because I make sure that the people around me, like I mentioned, my creative director, yo, Corey, I got to shout you out, man.
There you go,
Corey, he has a clothing line of his own. It's called Brothers Clothing Line. Check him out, man. He's phenomenal. Through it all and talking to my people, it's all about like bringing value. And outside of that, like what we do so well. So when I meet a customer that was having a problem and then they come in and they work with us, like I'm already thinking about 2-3 weeks down the line when their stuff is gonna be to them. So like I said, a lot of those like smaller brands, when they come in and they don't know and they're asking all them questions, and I'm always thinking like this stuff is so easy. So they need us.
Yeah.
Right? Because
We're like a consultant to them, helping them through.
We're gonna help them out. It's gonna be super easy for them, and then the end of the day, like the company continues to grow. So it's a win-win for all parties involved. Like,
Yeah, it's important for you to think about it. If you look at what is your why, right? So Neil has a clear why that makes work not that difficult. It makes it exciting. So what is your why, right? And then number two, do you have that mindset of growth? Do you have that mindset of wanting something bigger, right? Your why and your mindset and your goals of doing something bigger.
for sure.
In my opinion, it's way stronger to have a good why than to have a great skill, to have a great talent,
Yeah.
because you could push through, right? So a lot of these winners, guys, a lot of these stories have people that put themselves in the room, that ask questions, and they have a crazy important why, right? I want to talk a little bit about some cheddar, all right?
Cheddar?
Cheddar, all right? I want to talk about some money for people,
money.
right? But the reality is your company is fairly young
Right.
when it comes to like, you know, so how long have you been doing this?
You're talking about the DTG side?
Both. Yeah.
Okay, so all together, we started up in 2017.
Yeah.
2017.
So 2017, guys. So 2017 is when you guys started. 2021, you know, how much you're making a month?
I checked the other day. We're probably about 260 right now.
Badass, dude.
Yeah, but I'm one person. You know what I'm saying?
Seriously,
So I'm trying to. I talked with my team. We're gonna grow this thing out, and that like outside of like that number again, coming from these regular jobs, you know, people making and back. I'm going off of Georgia and my peers, right? So I put that number anywhere between $2,000 and $5,000, you know, a month, and that's working like long hours, hard jobs.
Back in the day, yep.
Yeah. So, you know, when I saw like what was happening, like I haven't even really put out like this is my first. I haven't told anybody, so you just put me on the spot right there.
Hey, you know, we wanna make sure that people know that you start somewhere, and then you keep growing, right?
Right.
Because the main thing is I want you guys to think about, all right, how much money am I making? Not because of the money, it's because of what impact and growth you can have, and when you could put on team members, right? Because that's the next stage. When people ask me, hey, you know what? I'm doing good. How can I grow my business? I'm like, hey, you know, what's your team look like? You know, how are they winning? So one of your questions to me was like, hey, you know, how can I grow?
Yeah.
I immediately go to like, how can you duplicate yourself? How can you do more? Why? Because when I was growing the business, maybe I would have done it in twice the time,
For sure.
right? If I grew faster with a team, maybe cut that one man band, that whole like, I'm the only one hustling.
Yeah.
Maybe cut that down by a few years,
For sure.
and that propels you, right? So, one thing I want you guys to know is that employees never will cost you money if you're organized and if they know their targets, right?
Huge.
So a lot of people say, "Oh man, I can't afford it because it costs money," right? Yeah, you have an onboarding process and you have to train people, right? But if you have a good process and they have good targets, then they're not going to cost you money, right? The employees make you money. So if that's a mindset that you can get behind, it'll help you maybe push through that fear of bringing people on,
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I gotta, we talked on that too, and that's one of the things when you mentioned like the KPIs and having how do people know, they're doing good at their job. So that's one thing that I'm definitely like emphasizing on, and we're gonna go back and do our homework. We gotta grow this thing.
What is a KPI, guys? Key performance indicator, right? How does somebody know that they're doing a great job? Is by how you're measuring them, right?
For sure.
So that's an important step. But this is the thing: when you get organized with your growth, then you can actually inspire people to come in and work, right? And if you want to call it something else, right, you can call it something else.
Say it's not a job.
Yeah, it's not a job; it's an opportunity.
Right.
But your original, main team members, right, that come in, somehow they got to know what's like how you're winning.
Yeah.
Part of what we do here is invest back into our team members,
Good.
into like helping them reach some of their goals. So we call them their personal, professional, financial goals that I learned through one of my mentors. And the idea is if you're helping them reach targets that are for them important, and they're aligned with the business, like there's no better way to help them, right? So part of what we do, guys, is share with you guys tips to win here at Creators, right? You might be in the same spot where you're like, hey, you know what? Maybe I need to add employees. I need to add revenue. Where do I need to be at, right? So number one is get plugged in to people that are doing it and pushing through, right? Make sure you plug into Neil. Hey, you know what? I'm having these challenges. Just like I answered, he's probably going to answer. Right? Again, where can people get a hold of you? What's your website? If they want to order from you, where do they go?
The website is cbshelton.com. There's a order form there, or you can just go right to one of the links, put your order in there. The Instagram is CBSE Promo. And then if you want to reach me personally, again, the Instagram is Neil the Brand Builder. If it's anything for like graphic design projects, we do like say promotional items, sign and installation. Same, use that form on our website or send me an email at admin@cbshelton.com.
So if you look at people that are winning, what are the traits of winners that I could share for people, right? One of the biggest ones is that winners do maintain their equipment, whatever it is, right? They maintain their equipment. They share with their team how to maintain the equipment. They're spot checking. I don't care if it's a camera, a printer, a laptop, whatever you have, right? Everything that will help you grow requires you to take care of it, right? Even somebody that's screen printing or somebody that's doing, UV printing and stuff like that, right? Everybody's taking care of their equipment because for the next job, you need to have it ready to rock,
right?
Even if it's minor, even if it's like dusting it off, even if it's spot checking it, even if it's cleaning it, right? Is number one. And I see that like with a lot of the people that are making big numbers, it's part of the routine.
Yeah, nah, I'm super on that, man. Like before I even learned how to print, I was like, I'm gonna just key in and focus on cleaning this thing. When do you know you're ready to diversify, and do you think should we diversify?
I want you guys to focus right now at the beginning. Focus is the most important thing. You got to focus on your craft.
Gotcha.
Right? You got to focus on your main business. You got to focus on scaling what's working.
Okay.
And I see a lot of people start making a little bit of money, and then they will go do something else, right? And then they'll take attention away from the main thing.
Got it.
So if it's not like something that's alongside your product before or after somebody buys from you, if it doesn't align 100% with what you're doing right now, remember you have to keep doing what works and then do it over and over again.
Nice.
Don't try to say, oh, you know what, I'm gonna try vending machines right now. Nothing against vending machines. You know, I used to be in the vending space back in the day.
Dude, what didn't you do, bro?
Right, I know, I did everything. But the reality is, if you notice, what we do here is we do print on demand.
Yeah.
Right, we do print on demand. We do print on demand software. We do inks. We do hardware. We do that's what we focus on.
Nice.
Right, and I don't take my eye off the prize. Right, I'm in real estate. Right, because it's one of the things that I wanted to do, and it's like the ultimate cheat code for wealth. Right, even for your businesses. So. The number one thing you guys could do to get into real estate is buy your shop that you're renting right now, right? Even if it's small. Even if it's small. Why? Because there's a lot of tax benefits of being your own landlord, right? So you're still renting, but you're renting it from yourself, right? So I'll do more videos on that. Make sure you comment or like if you want me to do some more stuff on real estate, how it could benefit your print shop. I'll do that because it's something that I learned. You know, I do a lot of research, but then I apply it. I apply it by doing deals, right? So
nice.
The short answer for you, Neil, is keep your main thing your main thing. When it comes to real estate, start investing in where you're working. If I would have, I rented for a lot of years, right? But if I would have bought the first office and then the second office, maybe your payments are very similar. Right, or sometimes even less, but the write-offs and all that. Who makes the biggest money when it comes to tax write-offs? Is people that own real estate.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, that's a great question.
When it comes to like marketing and like how much information is putting out, like what is good, what gets approved, like how do you dissect all of that?
I think that you get to that, right, by setting up some targets. For example, we have targets of how much content we need to be creating, how much needs to be put out, right? And those are like content pieces. But we also have stuff that we're tracking, right? That's like real stuff that we're tracking, like, what are our subscriptions looking like when it comes to our channels? Are we bringing value to people? When it comes to the generating the leads, is like what's our cost per lead that we're generating, what's working, what's not working, right? And a lot of the marketing direction comes from me right now, because
I do fist bump.
Thank you. Yeah, and that's kind of like the being in touch with you guys and my customers and our partners out there. I could identify needs. And then I push that. So two of the main departments that I currently still run is marketing and innovation.
Nice.
Why? Because I want to absorb what you guys need from the marketplace, right? I want to feel that for myself, and then I want to deliver it with ads or marketing or value. Because remember, most of our stuff is actually free, right? All the stuff that we're doing costs a lot of money to produce, to be here, right? But it's free, right? It goes to our creators crew on our channels. It goes to our free media on Instagram. It goes to our creators live sessions Wednesdays, which are also free, right? So make sure you guys are subscribed to that. Those are for customers only, right?
Yeah.
It's heavy. It's complex. There's a lot of moving parts.
For sure.
Right? There's a lot of technologies. There's a lot of questions, right? If you want, comment. I'll do some more stuff on marketing. Number one, start somewhere, right? A lot of it is what's the product market fit, right? To start. Whenever somebody says, hey, what can I do to market more, or what can I do to create paid ads?
Right.
The first thing I look at is, I'm going to go try to buy some stuff from you. And if you made it hard for me to buy stuff, I'm going to be like, hey, I don't want you to put paid ads there.
Yeah.
I don't want you to send people there yet, because they're going to get confused and not buy.
Exactly.
So I want to see a good customer experience. I want to see your price. I want to see all the basics of marketing. I want to see like easily to navigate pages on my phone. So I'm going to empower you guys to think about, is it easy for my customers to buy, right? Are you using something where somebody can get quoted right away? Here's your price. Can they pay?
Right.
You're assuming everybody wants to talk to you. A lot of people don't want to talk to us. Right? They just want to give you their money. If you make it hard for people to give you their money, it's going to be difficult, right? You have to commit to creating content. You have to commit to showing people what's up and being there. And then that'll help you, right? So record your prints. You know, some of the biggest guys that are making money, they're recording their prints, putting it up there. You know, I'm sure you've seen some people do lives like while they're printing, and they're saying, "Hey, you want to order this piece? Send me your size." In the DM, and then they send them a link to pay.
Nice.
Right.
Yeah,
So
it's easy to collect. It's easy to collect money these days. Yeah. That's for sure.
It's never been easier, guys. So there's no shortage of money out there right now, especially in our current time where it's coming for free, being dropped off from helicopters by the government. So take some of that money and start a business with it, right? Take some of that money, you know, don't YOLO it on the ace of spades, YOLO it on your business, you know?
Hey, man.
Remember, guys, we have people here that are winning. They're doing things right. Make sure you plug in, make sure you connect with them, DM, send messages, right? That's how you're able to grow and ask questions. One of the things that impressed me about you, and you're like, hey, I got this question. How can I grow? How can I do this? Guess what? I'm responding, right? You would be surprised what happens when you ask. Neil, appreciate you being here. It was great value that we dropped for people. And make sure you guys subscribe. Make sure you subscribe, comment, like, all the stuff. Hit the bell so that the almighty algorithm can show this video to all you guys and more, right? So stay tuned to the next episodes. Make sure you watch the other episodes that are on the channel. We're always here to bring you guys some value. And if there's stuff that you need, like more for marketing, more sales related, if you want us to do some stuff on real estate, just hit it in the comments. I just happen to have done a shit ton of jobs and do a lot of different things in my past. So now I can share that with you guys. So appreciate you being here again. Make sure you follow this guy.
But you like the Godfather, man. So I just want to say thank you. I look up to what you what you're doing. Look up to you as far as like the business, and just thank you for being there like when I do have those questions.
Yep. And stay tuned to the next episode. Peace out.
Take care of those printers.
That's right, baby.
Money makers.